ready.
Audio
Hey, and welcome to Generation X Youth Sports Network. Of course, 12 and under action right here. You won't want to miss. LA Rampage, of course, wide receiver coming out of his break. Incomplete on the play, slipping on the turf. And as I said all day, you got to get ready for these turfs as Lindsey Braxton as Quentin Hale would come out of his break and he would lose his footing. Punt is up. It's going to take a bounce back to around the 34-yard line. And that is where Kane Archer and the Outlaws will set up their offenses. The score is 0-0 first quarter action. 12 and under semifinals here at the Youth National Championships. Two of the most talented 12U teams in the country. Of course, if you've watched youth football at all, you know this name, Kane Archer, one of the top quarterbacks at his age division, and arguably one of the top quarterbacks in youth football. He has all the skill sets to be really crowned with those for right now. Can make all the throws, and of course he can extend the plays with his legs as he keeps his eyes downfield, and he also has the motor to take it from goal line to goal line. So Kane Archer under center. Play action, he'll roll out, looking downfield, deliver a pass, and that's what I'm talking about, a very accurate pass to the 50-yard line as number 14, Preston Hatfield, makes it the catch. And this is the pressure that Kane Archer will put on take. If you look and evaluate that play, he rolled out of the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, and delivered it on a thread. And this is what the kid will deliver for you. Archer and shotgun. It looks like he caused the players to jump off sides. And he's still rolling out there. Let's see what the call is. Did a hard count and looked like the defense came across and encroachment. Let's see. What do we got here? All eyes are on the white hat. Offsides defense, that's going to be 5 yards marched against LA Rampage. And thank you for tuning in here to Generation X Youth Sports Network. Archer and shotgun, twins to the top of your screen, twins to the bottom of your screen as well. Play action. He'll throw it on a little dump-off play. He'll check it down. That's going to be enough for a first down. He's still on his feet, and he'll get all the way down to the 30-yard line. Excellent play call as Braxton Lindsey with the reception. And the Outlaws have been waiting a whole entire year to get back here as they were in the championship game last year against the Waccamaw Panthers. And they wanted to take on the best, and right now they're taking on the #1 ranked team in the nation, Rampage. So they got their Christmas early by having them in the semifinals. Kane Archer doesn't like what he sees. He'll take off, he'll call his own number, has some block to the edge, still on his feet, and he's dangerous, and there's going to be a flag on the play. And let's see what they call there. That's usually in the area of holding. Personal foul. that's going to be a personal foul. And they'll back up. The Outlaws. 1st and 10 Outlaws. Kane Archer in shotgun. Twins high and low. Archer back to pass. And he'll throw it up for a jump ball, and it's completed. Wow. The defensive back seems like he just got his eyes caught in the sun, but there's flags on the play again. And that was a completion to Preston Hatfield once again, and as you can see, the DB is just going to get turned around. That's going to be another holding call against the Outlaws, so they'll back him up another 10 yards. A miraculous catch, and that just shows you the concentration in the skill set, or the ball skill set, of Preston Hatfield. So that's going to be 1st and 20 for the Outlaws. Kane Archer at the shotgun position. Twins to the top and the bottom of your screen. They show blitz, and they're blitzing. Protection is so far so good. And wow, it's a fight for the ball, and interception as he snatched the ball at the would-be receiver's hand. Big play by Skylar Robinson of the Rampage as he went over the top and snatched it out of the would-be receiver's hand of Mr. Vickers. Let's take a look at this play here. And it just was for a fight for the ball. It looked like Vickers had the ball at the beginning, and it's snatched away by Skylar Robinson. Great defensive play by the Rampage. Thanks for joining us right here at Generation X U Sports Network. Your score is 0-0. 12 and under semifinals, the Outlaws against the Rampage. So information, ladies and gentlemen, what the discussion is on the football field is that since players came down to the ground simultaneously, they awarded the ball to the offense when they both hit the ground, and they said the ground could not cause a fumble when it was wrestled away from Rampage players. So that's the discussion on the field. So we saw it up here in the booth where they both had a struggle for the ball. We called it an interception, but again, we're not referees, only the media. And we'll look at that one more time before the play starts again. So referees called this tied to the offense. You see Archer goes up, passes it. Here we go, slow motion, you'll see it. And they say when they came down, it was a tie. That's what they're calling a tie. Now they're saying after the fact he turned the ball away, and it was too late for the defense to call it a catch by the defensive player. So tie goes to the offense. All right, Kane Archer will have his offense at the 27-yard line. Handoff right up the middle, and a shoestring tackle all the way around to around the 24-yard line. That's going to bring up around second. Oh, that's enough to move the chains, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to be 1st and 10, Outlaws. They'll be at the 23-yard line. Archer back to pass. He scans the field, shuffles to the right. He spins out and move, outruns one player to the right-hand side, still on his feet, and does a Houdini trick to make something out of nothing. Let's see if he made it back to the original line of scrimmage where he should have been sacked for a loss of 5 to 6 yards. And they'll lose 8 on that play as he was scrambling, so that'll bring up 2nd and 18 for the Outlaws. Screenplay. He has some block out there, and he hurdles a player. He'll get inside of the 20-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd down for the Outlaws. You'll see it here. Excellent block by both wide receivers. He's able to split those blocks, hurdle one player, and gain about another 4 to 5 yards. And there's whistles on the play. Timeout, Rampage. Once again, thank you for tuning here at Generation X Youth Sports Network. More action when we come back.
Are you tired of showing up to a football event without a single ounce of swag? Are you tired of scoring touchdowns in games, but when it's time to celebrate, you freeze on camera and make an absolute fool of yourself? Are you tired of joining dance groups you don't belong in and ruining a potential video with a horrendous floss? If this is you, try not to panic. Help is on the way. All you have to do is call 1-800-GET-DRIPPED. By calling this number, you'll be looking and feeling different. Just blurred somebody? Rub it in. Yeet the ball. Throw up the sticks and square up. Wow, awesome clip. With all this new drip, you'll finally be able to join the dance group too. Whoa. Don't waste any more time. Call 1-800.
And that's touchdown, Outlaws. And this is where I tell you, this kid can do it from in the air and on the ground. Kane Archer, one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and you see why right now as he pulled the ball down and scored on those fast wheels. And that's going to be hard to defend as LA Rampage will have to defend his arm and cover the receivers in the field. And as they turn their back to go into coverage, they'll have to cover him as well as a running back. So now they'll go for the extra point. Kane Archer in shotgun, running back to his left-hand side, back to pass, and he won't see anything. He'll spin out, still on his feet, trying to make somebody miss, turns on the Jets, still on his feet, and he'll be hit out of bounds. So the extra point is no good. That'll have your score, KC Outlaws 6, LA Rampage 0. Let's take a look how dangerous this quarterback is as he looks downfield, goes through his progressions, see everyone's back is turned to him as they're in coverage, makes 2 players miss, 3 players miss, turns on the Jets, touchdowns, Outlaws as they take the lead over the #1 ranked team in the nation, LA Rampage. Trails the Outlaws 0-6. And thanks for joining us right here, Generation X U Sports Network. KC Outlaws taking on the #1 ranked team, LA Rampage. Ball is up. And it'll be fielded around the 30. He's still on his feet. He's out to the 40, and it's a foot race. He's to the 30, and he'll be chased out of bounds around the 27-yard line. Excellent return for the LA Rampage. Wow, oh wow. He just had one player to beat as Damani Porras showed you his burst of speed as he tight ropes out of bounds. And he got around to a 21, 22-yard line, and that's where LA Rampage will set up their offense as they trail 0-6. Wide open touchdown for Rampage as he connected with Quentin Hale just to go over top, and that quick Rampage show you how they can strike. Excellent kick return, and then they go over the top and make it look easy. And I guess this is why they're the #1 ranked team in the nation, is they can show you they can strike with the best of them quickly. Wow. Quentin Hale was able to get a lot of separation here. Look at this play from the line of scrimmage. Play action, he goes over the top, nothing but a 9 route on blown coverage, and that was an easy touchdown for Rampage. That ties your score 6-6 right here at IMG Academy. They're going to go for a 2-point conversion here. NCAA rules. And he throws it into triple coverage. Nothing there. It's well defended by the KC Outlaws. So that has your score, 6-6 at the IMG Academy Youth National Championship presented to you by Battle Sports. And that's going to be flag on the play, ball out of bounds. And KC Outlaws will get ready to set up their offense as it's tied score here in Bradenton, Florida between the Outlaws and Rampage. Archer back to pass, lets the ball go, and he's in the double coverage. Incomplete pass is well defended by the safety and the cornerback of the Rampage. Archer back to pass, no flags on the play, well defended there. Ball goes in and out of hands and defended by Umari Vickers. Excuse me, defended by Kelton Strickland, number 20 of the Rampage. And another incomplete pass. They go back to the same play again, but listen, well defended by Rampage, and there's going to be flags on the play. And it looks like it's going to be defensive holding against Rampage, but let's wait for the official call from the, and that's just what it is. White Hat calls it defensive holding on Rampage. That's going to be an automatic first down and no walk off those yards. That'll be 1st and 10, Kansas City Outlaws. Incomplete on the play as the ball was attempted for Hatfield. It was at his feet.
Hello? What's good? Shit, it's 12-6. It's a good game. I said it's a good game. Yeah, I think Blaze's gonna win it though. Yeah, but I'm saying I think Blaze them gonna win the game. I'm telling you, that team, because Blaze them gonna keep scoring like that. They score like 50-something points a game.
No gain on the play. Big cut play completed to Hatfield once again doing his thing. The Outlaws increased their lead 12-6 over Rampage. And now they'll go for the point after attempt. Archer in shotgun. single back. He'll go back to pass. Scan the field, reading his progressions, keeping the play alive. Stop and go. He'll turn the corner, and he's going to try to get in himself. And he'll be caught at the yard line, and let's see what they mark it. Then they say it's no good. And he takes his helmet off, saying, hey, man, I got in there. He's upset with a fighter spirit that you see in a quarterback. He's like, man, I fought for that. And here's the original touchdown as the defender just fell down. And the Outlaws score on the touchdown. And extra point no good. So that's going to have your score. KC Outlaws 12, Rampage 6. What a football game. And touchdown. As you can see, the speed once again, I got to tell you, he has been the go-to guy all day for Rampage. Damani pours as he's able to accelerate nonstop. Makes one player miss. Out to the 40, to the 30. It's a foot race, and he's going to be snatching. That's going to be a horse collar. That's going to be additional 15 yarders if that is the play that I'm thinking is going to be. But wow, these two teams are going back and forth. Big play by the Rampage as he was able to key in. Rampage is not done yet. As you see, he was able to get in position, snatch the ball at his highest point. Big interception for LA Rampage as they were able to stop the Outlaws for capitalizing in on that field position. Handoff right up the middle. Not a lot of room there. But he's able to get about 6 yards and get Rampage on the move in this second quarter action. Quarterback hands it off to the right-hand side. Malik Allen on the carry. Slant pattern across the middle, completion all the way out to around the 48-yard line. Quentin Hell once again on the reception. And JD3 hands it off right up the middle to Kelton Strickland. Not a lot of room there. And JD3, Jaden Jefferson of the LA Rampage. And that's your quarterback for the #1 ranked team in the nation. Tide scored here 12-12. And this is what you expect the semifinals to look like between two top teams in the nation. Of course, this is a repeat of or the rematch, you should say, between two of these top teams as they played earlier this year in Bullhead. JD3 at quarterback. One-step drop ball is up, and that's incomplete. And listen, if Andre would have kept running there, that was touchdown. That was a wide open play for LA Rampage as Jaden Jefferson saw Andre Nickerson streaking down the sideline and just overthrew him. And Andre Nickerson stands about 6 foot tall as a 12U player, and he is a load to cover. So I'm sure the Outlaws are going to have to make some type of adjustment to make sure they're not giving up the double move over there, because they've been playing in the cover one, so really the corners are one-on-one. And they just dropped the linebacker to the safety position there, so they went to a cover two here now, maybe to get some help, especially since Rampage is in double twins right now. 2 receivers to the top of your screen and another 2 to the bottom of your screen. Shotgun for JD3 as he's in the backfield with Kelton Strickland, number 20. Jefferson will call for the ball, and he hits him right across the middle, and he's still on his feet, and he has some block. And he'll make it all the way down inside the 20-yard line as Dylan Clanton, they call him DJ the Truth, comes up with 1st and 10 for the Rampage. Second quarter action, Tide score, Rampage Outlaws as they are threatening to score. Twins receivers to the top of your screen, twins to the bottom of your screen, single set. This has been their formation all the way down the field. JD3 calls for the ball. He sees what he wants in the corner. He'll throw a corner route and touchdown and made it look easy. We just talked about Andre Nickerson being that guy, standing 6 foot tall, and that's going to be hard to cover him as he towered over both defensive backs and caught the ball at his highest point. That is going to be a matchup problem for the Outlaws all day. And I can guarantee you Rampage is going to keep going back to that matchup until they can do something about it. So now this is going to be the point after attempt. And they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. They're not lining up their kicker. They're lining up their offense for a 2-point conversion. Quarterback makes a couple players miss, and he'll get all the way down to the 1-yard line, but it's not enough for the conversion. So that'll have your score. Rampage 18, Outlaws 12. And a big kick, booming kick, and that's a live ball. And he'll feel it at the 5-yard line on the 10, makes one player miss, still on his feet, but won't make two other players miss. He'll be met abruptly at the 20-yard line, spikes the ball, and he'll better be careful there because the refs are on top of that. You're tuning in to Generation X Youth Sports Network, 12 and under action. It is the semifinals for the Youth National Championship. It's championship week here at IMG Academy.
Against a run-heavy team. Yeah, that's what number he is. I know they got a big ass running back over there. That's right. Check in because I see the fire trucks and shit over there. All right,
Nearly intercepted by Rampage. Archer back to pass. He'll get some pressure. He almost is caught in the end zone. He'll make two players miss, stay on his feet, and he won't make the third miss. And then he'll get all the way out to the 10-yard line, but showing a little frustration there as he's trying to keep the play alive, but avoids a sack in the end zone and avoids a safety for the Outlaws. Archer in shotgun. Back to pass. He'll keep the play alive going back and forth right now, trying to get outside, and he's going to be on a foot race right now to get first down. Makes one player miss, and he'll get all the way out to around the 25-yard line. Tackled by Dalen Clinton in the open field, a.k.a. DJ The Truth. We're at our half, 18-12. LA Rampage over the Kansas City Outlaws. When we come back, exciting action of the second half for the right to go to the championship 12 and under game here at the Youth National Championships. And welcome back to second half action as the 12 and under semifinals are taking place right here at the YNC. Archer at shotgun. Second half starting right now. Archer back to pass. He'll roll to his right, looking downfield, and he'll tuck the ball and he'll run. He's to the 40, 45 to the 50. And he'll get all the way out to the opposite side and get into Rampage's territory. 1st and 10, led by Kane Archer. Outlaws trailing Rampage 12-18 at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Handoff right up the middle, and he has daylight. He'll get all the way down to the 25-yard line. A lot of yak yards. Carried players for about another 8 yards, and that's going to be 1st and 10. Outlaws. And impressive run by Braxton Lindsay as he carries Rampage players with him. That'll move the chains once again for the Outlaws. That's going to be twins receivers to the top of your screen, twins to the bottom. And he'll throw it in the backfield. Great block from one of his actual B-backs. And a big hit delivered by the Rampage as Duvet Williams, a.k.a. Cowboy. Affectionately, you'll need to be a cowboy to run with these Outlaws, and he proved it there. Big hit delivered by Rampage. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Outlaws. And if you want to check out the Grant game, it's another link on Generation X as well. You can kind of toggle back and forth so you can watch both games. But we do have both feeds for you as we are in the 12 and under semifinals. Archer back to pass. He'll roll to his left. He's looking downfield, trying to orchestrate his receivers. He'll go ahead and call his own number. He'll enough to get down the sidelines, and he'll fake like he was going to throw, and he'll get inside the 10-yard line. Some nifty running by the big quarterback, and there's going to be a penalty on the field, and Archer's putting his shoulders up like, what? What happened? And that's going to be a holding call on number 15, so they'll back it up from the spot of the foul. And that'll take the ball out to the 18-yard line. Handoff right up the middle again, back to Braxton. He'll make one player miss and make another one. He's carrying players with him, and man, let's see what the call here, because I thought initially he was down when the ball came out, because we know a ball can't cause a fumble, but he made it all the way down to the end zone with some nifty running. And I think they're going to call that a touchdown. Looks like they're going to be lining up for the extra point. Wow, we'll look at that right after the extra point. But some nifty running by Braxton. Archer back to pass. He's looking. And there's going to be a flag on the play, so this one might not count. And he's going to be denied the extra point. So that's going to have you a tied score game here, ladies and gentlemen. 18-18 here at IMG Academy. This is what it's all about. Two top teams battling out, very evenly matched. And wow, it's a battle between Kane Archer and JD3. Two quarterbacks trying to lead their team to a national championship. Kane Archer's been having some help by the running game provided by Braxton Lindsey, who's just really emerging on his own to be another Outlaw superstar. As he's running over players, as you can see, back and forth, and he already had broke the plane, so that was a touchdown. Outlaws tying the score. So ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, go for this ride. It is going down here at IMG. It's only getting started, 18-18, a lot of football left. Third quarter action here for the Youth National Championships semifinals. Tied score here in Bradenton, Florida. And it'll be a squib kick that's on the ground and handled, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield. That might be possibly a horse collar right there, and that's what it's going to be. And the coach is going to be throwing a flag as well. He came out on the football field, so you may. And so that's going to be a horse collar, and the referee was explaining to him horse collar is pulled by the back of the jersey as well in the neck area. So that's going to be probably a double penalty there. Okay, and it looks like they're waving it off, so they have a sideline warning that is applied to the Outlaws because the coach ran out on the field. So that is what the penalty that will be given to them as well. Thank you for tuning in right here to Generation X Youth Sports Network. Third quarter action here in Bradenton, Florida. Big hit in the backfield. And big hit as he's swallowed up in the backfield by the Outlaws. And timeout on the field, and thanks again for tuning in to Generation X Youth Sports Network. Action going on all over IMG today. Of course, 8 and under semifinals taking on a couple fields. Next is a tied score, last time we checked, which is Lambeau 8U, the #1 team in the nation, taking on the Bay Area Packers, better known as the On-Go Boys, taking on the #1 team in the nation. Tied score last time we checked, 12-12. And also Grant Pacers taking on City Life Raptors, the #1 team coming out of Maryland, 2 in the nation. A lot of action going here, so by the end of the day, we'll really know what teams are going to the next level. And of course, you won't want to miss our championship press conferences that's going to be taking on with these teams that punch their ticket, the top 2 teams in each age division. After today, we'll all know who's going to the championships on Friday and Saturday here at IMG. JD3 back to pass. He'll make one player miss, but he'll be sacked in the backfield by big number 7. And that's Mr. Mayberry, Jackson Mayberry, coming up with an important tackle for the Outlaws. And 12-6 is the score with 3 minutes left as City Life goes up on the Pacers. Keep the sports updates coming. JD3 back to pass, ball is up, and big incompletion there. He's calling for a flag. He think he was held there. Defended very well by Jalen Davis. This game is getting more competitive by the minute. Tie score here, ladies and gentlemen. Third quarter action, 18-18 Outlaws versus Rampage. And again, this is how it should be when you're battling for a national championship. These games are going to be super, super competitive. Archer hands it off right up the middle. Not a lot of room there, and he's struggling to get maybe a yard or two as the Rampage is all over it. That's going to bring up maybe 2nd and 11. He may have lost a yard there. Let's see where they mark him. Or it's forward progress. And yes, they'll mark him about a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Outlaws. Archer in shotgun, single back set, twins on both sides. Play action, he'll roll back. Deliver pass and well defended by number 20, and there's gonna be flags right after that play. And that was broken up by Kelton Strickland. Let's see what the call is there. And that's going to be defensive holding. That's a big hole right there. Defensive holding. And we got another flag thrown on the Rampage coach coming out there. And I'm going to tell you, listen, at the Youth National Championships, unsportsmanlike. So listen, that's at the Youth National Championships, the refs are going to call it straight down the line. So they're going to keep these games very in check and keep them very organized. There's not going to be coaches coming out there really challenging the calls. So if anything, you'll need to do it through the proper way. Call your timeout, talk to an umpire, talk to back judge or the white hat. But in the middle of while that clock is running, coaches cannot come out of that box. So you can't hurt your team in a situation like this. You got to keep your cool. And listen, I know emotions are flying high. This is a national championship. This is the right to go to the national championship. But this is the semifinals. So coaches are just as emotionally invested as these kids are. So the Outlaws are hold up here, and they'll get their play in as they threaten to score late into the third quarter. Archer in shotgun, one back sack. He's going to call his own number right off rip. And not much there, and they're going to throw him down, laid out of bounds. And listen, Rampage has to stop shooting themselves in the foot. Unnecessary tackle, about 5 to 6 yards out of bounds. And they're going to cause themselves to be half the distance of the goal line. Just really, penalties are hurting them on this particular drive. Coach comes out on the football field just the previous play, and then Archer's 3 to 4 yards out of bounds, and they throw him down. So you got to play smart football here when you're trying to play championship football. You got to keep your calm and your nerves, for all the way from the coaching staff to the players as well. So that's going to be marked half the distance. That'll get the Outlaws to the 3-yard line. And you can probably expect a heavy dose of Braxton Lindsay right here, number 15, the big back. And, of course, you see him right now as I speak. He's behind Kane. And, of course, handoff right to, just as we said. So he's going to get down and maybe a yard, maybe a gain of a yard. He'll get down to maybe like the 2-yard line. That's going to bring up 2nd and goal. And you can see where that ball is marked right now at the 1.5-yard line. And it's a funny thing about the Outlaws, you don't really see a lot of heavy formations from there where you see 6 or 7 linemen, and there's going to be a roll out there. He's going to stiff arm a play and throw that away. And it looks like they want to call intentional grounding, and it looks like the quarterback's trying to show him, hey, I got my receiver right there. I was throwing my receiver. I didn't do intentional grounding. I had a receiver in the back of the end zone. So let's see what the white hats say. Let's see if he'll be convinced by the quarterback. And he'll call intentional grounding, which is a loss of down. So it seemed like the quarterback was out of the tackle box. And it's hard to see if he had a receiver in the vicinity. But that's the ref's call. Archer back to pass, and he'll throw it up one-on-one, and we got a flag there. And that looks like it's going to be defensive holding, as both the players looked at each other like, man, you didn't have to grab him. That ball was really up there. So that's going to be pass interference. That's an automatic first. Again, I'll say it again. This particular drive is killing the Rampage of just really have to avoid these penalties. You got to focus on playing some clean and smart football, mistake-free football when you're playing for the national championships, or I want to say the semifinals to the national championships. And this is a very unique formation for the Outlaws because they're usually out and spread. And you'll see their heavy set right here. And they're going to hand it off. And he's going to run right ahead. Nothing fancy there. And looks like the quarterback is discussing with his lineman of something that went on here. Let's see. And that's going to be offsides. Listen, incredible on this particular drive. Rampage is lucky to have not given up a touchdown as of yet. It's going to be 6 penalties on one particular drive. You had 2 unsportsmanlike, but you have offside, you have pass interference. I mean, it's just a lot to really overcome. And we'll see if their defense can bend but not break on this particular drive. Oh, man. And it looks like Rampage is offsides again. What they're doing down there is he's doing a hard count, and he's under center, so now the defensive lineman can hear his cadence. And they definitely made him jump offsides this time, so another penalty. That's going to be half the distance. So right now, Outlaws are getting free yardage, and Rampage may need to call a timeout and kind of get themselves together, because the quarterback is sending a hard cadence. And for the people who don't know what a hard cadence is that when he goes down there and he says, for example, down, said, hut, he can change the inflection of his voice, and he's making those defensive players jump with the inflection of his voice. So here we go, tight formation again. Again, you're not used to this from the Outlaws. You're used to having the quarterback and shotgun and twins receivers on both sides and single back. Very unique. And now listen, they'll check out of that. And Archer's having a conversation with Lindsey. And we'll have a timeout. Very interesting calls right here. These are very important thing. And that's not a timeout. That's the end of the quarters, ladies and gentlemen. We're in fourth quarter action here. Tied score with the Outlaws threatening to score. They're all the way down to the 1 yard line. And it's been an ugly drive for the Rampage for penalties, but their defense is still hanging on and have not given up a score. So what we'll find out when we come back, will the Rampage defense be able to dig deep and bend but don't break? We'll find out when we return right here on Generation X Youth Sports Network.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark.
It's gonna be like that all day!
I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man by then. Oh, you think dark.
And while we were away at commercial, handoff to Lindsey, number 15. But don't worry, we have it on replay. We won't let you miss a thing. And he was able to muscle his way in. Lindsey putting on a show today, a very tough touchdown, but we knew that's where they wanted to go, being that close to the end zone. Lindsey's a big back, so you're going to have to put some pads on him to slow him up. So here we go. This is for the point after attempt. Outlaws take the lead in the fourth quarter, 20-40 or 18. Tight formation once again, overload to the right side. You'll see a wing back behind the guard and tackle, and they'll misdirection that one. Very well designed players, they think, and Lindsey throws a player off of him. My goodness. Scores with an attitude as the defender was on him, and he demonstrates his strength. And he does a wrestling move there, I would say. And wow, Lindsey is playing like a man possessed for the Outlaws. Whoa, extra point is good. Wow, you see it there, ladies and gentlemen. And the energy has now increased on the sidelines of the Outlaws. You'll hear the parents in the backgrounds. The Outlaws chants have started, but do not sleep on the Rampage. They've demonstrated how quick they can strike back. Well, now that is what the Outlaws offense was able to provide for them, Let's see how their defense, let's see if that energy has translated defensively for them to stop this very potent and very dangerous Rampage offense. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is where Rampage will set up their offense, approximately the 49-yard line. And this is fourth quarter action. It comes down to one quarter to decide who goes to the championship. And so it's NCAA rules, ladies and gentlemen, for the tournament for the national championship, meaning you kick, it's 1. You run or pass, it's 2 points. So it's 26-18, just like you were playing for a college national championship. Eight minutes and 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. JD3 is back to pass. He'll roll it and he'll call his own number. He's down to the 48-yard line, and he may lose a yard there, as Mayberry provided excellent coverage, and there was not a lot of room for Jefferson to get upfield. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. On the 12 and under, they've already punched their way in. City Life won the 12 and under. They will be in the championship game on Saturday, and the stage is set at the IMG Stadium. Now we're just waiting on this game to see who will be on the other side of that football. But congratulations to the City Life Raptors with a big win over the Pacers. Ball is out, and Outlaws have it. Big turnover, Outlaws ball, fourth quarter. That can turn out to be a big mistake for the Rampage. Malachi Murph, let's watch the play here, ladies and gentlemen. Big turn of events, takes a step. Ball is in there, he slaps it out. He made a football move. That is a fumble, ladies and gentlemen. Outlaws ball. And the plot thickens. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Malachi Murph with a big play for his team when they most needed it, as they just took the lead 26-18. And you see the body language change a little bit for Rampage. They'll need to go ahead and try to stand tall here. Archers in shotgun for the Outlaws. Twin receivers back to their favorite formation where Archer can really scan the field. Hand off once again right up the middle. Braxton Miller, he's still on his feet. He's dragging players. And whoa, this kid is putting on a clinic today. An unexpected star in this particular game. No one really scouted Lindsey as being the man today, but he has been absolutely that. Lindsey stepping it up in championship mode as he's had a very productive day behind center. Approaching 7 minutes left in this football game. Every minute is going to count now for Rampage. They're going to need to make some plays and make some stops to stay in this game to get back into it. Archer hands off again. Not much there. That may be a gain of 2 to 3 yards, so let's see where they spot the ball. And that'll bring up 3rd and around 4 for Outlaws with the clock ticking. So right now, the Outlaws are in their 4-minute offense, I would say. Not really trying to throw incompleted passes or things of that nature. They're making the clock run. They're handing the ball off to their big back and eating up clock right now. And this is what we call a 4-minute offense. But again, they spread out the Rampage defense with Twins receivers on both sides. This time, Archer will call his own number. Not a lot of room there as the defensive end really just collapsed everything in. Number 9 for the Rampage, Dallin Clinton, DJ The Truth, was able to pinch in Archer with no gain on the play. That's going to bring up 4th and 5, a loss of 1 yard on the play. A strong play by the defensive end of the Rampage. And that's the plays that they're going to need to make some stops here, as the Outlaws offense will stay on the field. They're not punting here. They're not worried about field position. They feel they can convert. Archer scans the field. He calls for the ball. Play action. He slants across the middle. Incomplete pass. Big stop for Rampage, as number 23 was able to get his hands in on the ball. Sincere Brown makes an all-important stop for Rampage. Now, Rampage has an opportunity to get back in the game right now on this particular drive. This is what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. With only under 7 minutes to play in fourth quarter, they'll need to at least tie it up to make it competitive. Well, let me change that. It's already competitive. Let's just correct that. This is a very competitive game. They'll need to tie it up to keep this thing going. Super competitive between these two top teams in the country. Six minutes and 35 seconds left in this game. 6 minutes and 35 seconds determine who's going to the national championship to take on the City Life Raptors. Tight formation. JD3 under center. He'll pitch it right up there. Big run. He's up the middle. He's off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Nobody's going to catch him. This is what he needed to do. They score in one play. Number 20 strikes Kelton Strickland for the Rampage. And I told you, you cannot sleep on this Rampage offense. They can score anywhere, from anywhere on the football field. That quick, ladies and gentlemen, that quick. It's 24 points to 26. This extra point is so all important right now with this time left in the game. Very important for Rampage and very important for the Outlaws. Will they be able to stand up to stop this extra point? They'll need to go for it, run or pass. A kick will not do it here. They'll need to go in for a first down. Let's see the call here, and the extra point is good. Tie scored, ladies and gentlemen, 26-26, fourth quarter action. Wow. Wow. What a game. You've tuned into the right place, right time. Look at this play here as he's able to accelerate between the safeties, keep his feet, breaks out of that tackle, and put his team right back in scoring. Wow. And they followed up with the extra point. Looks like he got caught in the backfield, broke that tackle as well, and was able to stretch over the plane to tie it up 26-26. What an impressive play by Kelton Strickland, putting his team on his back, making an amazing run right up the middle. He was determined to score, and I got to tell you, he blazed, he turned on the Jets. Wasn't a defender within 5 to 6 yards of him when he scored. Deep kick. And that's fielded all the way to the 25. And he'll be tackled around the 35. He'll be tackled at the 36-yard line. And welcome to the YNC Youth National Championships, ladies and gentlemen. This is what championship football is all about. Tied score 26-26. Archer back to pass. He'll scan the field. He'll throw it deep. and almost caught, but well defended by the Rampage. Hand off right to Braxton. He'll jump over player, still breaks the tackle, still on his feet. What an acrobatic move, and look at the yak yards. And Braxton is still continuing to play like a man possessed. Wow. Did you see that move inside the hole? I mean, not a running backs are willing to do that to sacrifice their body, but what a play. As he comes to the line of scrimmage, he spins it past the defensive tackle, and wow. Archer in shotgun, back to pass, he scans the field, throws across over the middle to a wide open player, gets all the way down to around the 43-yard line. And man, oh man, Terrence Williams comes up with an excellent reception. I gotta tell you, these offenses are putting on clinics between both teams now. And that's Champ Davis. And Champ Davis coming down with that reception. Big Champ doing his thing for the Outlaws. Archer call his own number with an option. He stiffs off the player, still in open field, makes another player miss. And nifty play by the quarterback there, showing you that he has some moves as well. And that's enough to move the chains for the Outlaws. On the 4 minutes in this game, ladies and gentlemen, the Outlaws are on the move. And I'm getting a feeling whoever has the ball last is going to win this thing, because these offensives are just being determined, and they will not be denied. Archer at quarterback. He's in shotgun. They're showing blitz, and they do blitz. Here comes the pressure. Ball is up, one-on-one, and incomplete. It's just going to be incidental contact there. Ball was not catchable, so there's no flags on that play. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Outlaws. Thank you for tuning in to Generation X Youth Sports Network. This is the Youth National Championships, and this is the 12 and under semifinals. You won't want to miss this action. And listen, next game coming up, if you can appreciate the 14 and under, what better game than, of course, the OC Buckeyes out of California taking on the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes out of Florida. Hand off to Braxton Lindsay up in the field, and that's probably making like a 2 to 3 yard gain. Not a lot there, as number 18 is on the tackle, Kingston Mutu, as he comes up and makes a strong tackle. Archer back to pass. Oh, and it looks like there's going to be incidental. Well, basically it was a tip ball, so with the tip ball, there can't be pass interference. So when it's a tip ball, he can get hit early. So, and that's what the Rampage did. They had the wherewithal to know he can hit the player after a tip ball. Fourth and 8 for the Outlaws. And this is for the game, ladies and gentlemen, because you can see if Rampage gets that ball again, they're hard to stop. They are hard to stop. Fourth and 8 for the Outlaws. What is the call here? You see them crowd the line of scrimmage. They're in tight coverage. Back to pass. He'll throw it over the top. And there's a flag on the play, and that's going to be defensive holding as 20. was holding him out of his break. Wow, and that was a lot of pressure on Kelton Strickland as he did a skinny post, and as he came out of his break, all he could really do was hold him around the waist. And that's going to be an automatic first down for the Outlaws if that's the call. And that is defensive holding against number 20 on Rampage. That's going to be 1st and 10 Outlaws. Wow, big penalty on a 4th down play. All they really needed to do was just hold on there, but they give them a fresh set of downs here in 4th quarter action for the Outlaws. Handoff, and whoa, what a hurdle. Am I at a track meet or am I at a football game? And the player did not even duck, but he still had the vertical to jump over another player standing up. Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing some football being played. These kids are leaving it out on the football field. They are not holding anything back. And of course, I've been given some information that this 13-year-old can dunk right now, so that would explain his vertical. Braxton Lindsay having an exceptional day out in this championship semifinal. There's going to be a flag on the play. Let's see what it is. And Rampage are going to have 12 men on the football field, and they don't need to hurt themselves at all moving forward here. Every inch counts, and they'll have a 12 men on the field penalty there, half the distance of the goal line. So you just saw Rampage player go out, and that's going to make them that much closer. Surprising that the Outlaws didn't go back to their heavy-set offensive line that they did that was successful with handing off to Lindsay. They'll go in a max spread right here, which gives them minimum protection. You got 5 offensive linemen against 7 in the box. And they'll hand that off right to Lindsay. But it doesn't matter if they had 5 or 7. It's going to see if they're going where they're going to call it. And they're going to call a touchdown. He was able to reach over the goal line and score. So even though it was 5 linemen against 7 in the box, they still were successful with the outreach hands. Of course, what other name would I be calling right now besides Braxton Lindsay? Just really putting his team on his back in this particular. And listen, with the Outlaws, it's always somebody else stepping up, and it's usually behind the offense of Kane Archer. But today, Braxton Lindsay really earning his name and putting his name on a national stage in front of everybody right now. Timeout, Outlaws. Extra point is good as Kane Archer fires to the back of the end zone, and Champ Davis steps up to the plate and does the extra point conversion. That's another 2-point conversion for the Outlaws. They go up. (34-26). So listen, for the Rampage to get back in there, they'll not only need to score, they'll need to do the 2-point conversion as well just to tie it up. Now this is when the Outlaws need to dial in their defense. And of course, Rampage, they're gonna go back. Why wouldn't you go back to Kelton Strickland? Why wouldn't you go back to some of your playmakers? So listen, this is excellent football. One minute and 23 seconds left in this game as the Outlaws go up 34-26. Wow. 1 minute and 23 seconds left in the game. But listen, Rampage, don't count them out. They've shown you they can score within 8 seconds. So what's a minute 23 to this team? And that'll be a squib kick. It touches a player, and whoa. So they'll be able to start their offense from the 43-yard line. And this is Rampage's season on the line right now to advance to the national championship. They'll need to put their best offensive plays together right now against this offense, against this Outlaws team. So that leaves 51 seconds on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Whistle's being blown. And we have timeout. Outlaws. Coach wants to see, he wants to talk about that offensive set that he just saw. Now that he sees what Rampage is coming out with, he wants to adjust his offense. He was going to get caught in a cover one, but you got to know these guys going to maybe take some shots down the field. But with a talented running back like Kelton Strickland, you can do a draw play and hit a home run. Here we go. Jaden Jefferson at the quarterback. He's in shotgun. Twins receivers to the top of your screen. Twins receivers to the bottom. One back set. JD3 calls for the ball. He's back to pass. He'll roll to his right. And that'll be a completion to number 8, Duvae Williams. And that's a big penalty. You don't want holding calls on a drive, so important. You need to go in this mistake-free. They shift their offense in. They're taking a little bit too long to get this play off. They got to be careful here not to get a delay of game. And whistles are blown here. Hold on. Let's see what the call is. And I think Rampage called a timeout as they were shifting from one player to another, where they're going from a widespread formation to a tight formation. But in the midst of it all, it was really eating up their play clock. Under a minute left in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Rampage has one drive to tie it up. Not only do they need to score a touchdown, they need to convert a two-point conversion. So a lot on the line. Is it impossible for the Rampage, as we've seen the previous offensive series? No, it's not. I mean, they dialed up one play to Kelton Strickland, and it went for 60 TD. And they, on the very next play, they converted for the extra point. So it's not impossible. But they will need to play mistake-free football. No holding calls, no penalties, no delay of games. When you only have under a minute, every play is going to count. So let's see what type of play call they come out of this tight formation, because you really want to go for some passes and if you're going to have an incomplete or run out of bounds, but running plays are going to be difficult to go with. And they'll hand it trickeration play, and it comes back out, and he's off to the races again, ladies and gentlemen. This time they put Kane Archer on defense, because why? Kane Archer is one of the faster football players on the football field, and they have now Kane Archer at the safety positions, because I can tell you this kid can fly. So they're not risking anything right now. They're saying, you know what, we're willing to risk our gunslinger because we don't want to give up any big runs right there. That's Kane Archer you see at the free safety. And he's tackled at the line of scrimmage. Very interesting play calling with only under a minute left, that you're doing a wing T formation. I would think that more or less they would spread them out, try to do some bubble screens and some hitch passes, some out routes. They get 12-yard plays and get out of bounds. But when you do running plays, you're going to get hit in the field of play, and you'll have to burn your timeout. So you really got to talk about some clock management when you're really trying to maximize your last 53 seconds of your season. So very surprising. Rampage comes out in I want to say a double wing offense with 53 seconds left. And the correct time is 54 seconds left in the game. So it's easy for us to be Sunday morning quarterback, but put the ball in your hands of JD3. There you go. Reception right there, still on his feet, get out of bounds, and that's how you manage your clock right there. Duvae Williams with the reception, and that's going to be enough to move the chains for him and stop the clock. Smart play call by Rampage here, and let's see how they continue their play calling down the rest of this offensive series. So here they go themselves, shotgun, looking almost outlawish right here with the two receivers on each side of the field. He'll throw once again, another very spectacular catch, and he'll get out of bounds once again with it. Throwing those outs is what you need. What does it do for your team? It gets you out of bounds, it stops the clocks, and it gets you yards. So this is the offense that they'll run, but they have to be careful with throwing back-to-back outs, because you don't want the corner to be able to jump that out, because that can be a pick six type of play. So let's see what they call here. He's making some adjustments, twins on both sides of the quarterback. Quarterback back to pass. He'll step up in the pocket, deliver the ball. It's up there, broken up. He was double covered as the safety came over the top. And he gets up hobbling. But almost an interception there. As Jaden Jefferson really wanted to get those, he forced it in between two players.
Hey, he ain't catch that bitch no way, so you straight.
JD3 back to pass. And that out again. And that's their go-to right now. And they're going down the field with that. Duvae Williams with another reception, moving the ball and moving the chains. That's going to be 1st and 10 for Rampage, as they are keeping the clock at a minimum and getting those out patterns ran. That's very efficient offense for Rampage right now with minimum time on the clock. He looks for that out once again, but this time he'll call his own number. Not a lot there, but this time the cornerback jumped it, as I said, and he was smart enough and had the wherewithal not to throw that, because that would have been an interception. Timeout, Rampage. .44 seconds left in the game. JD3 in shotgun. Trips to the top of your screen. He'll throw it. And incomplete on the play. Oh, and another holding call as JD3 was trying to get past the line of scrimmage. They'll call that on the right tackle. And they'll substitute him out now and 77 to come in. And that's holding. That'll back him up 10 yards on this particular drive. Now listen, that's not such a killer when you know you have to go for a touchdown. Right now, the out has been very successful for him, and what will work great now is a double move since that out has been successful. You fake that out and continue going upfield, you should be in good position on a one-on-one. So we have an official timeout here. This is the Outlaws really looking to even the score up with LA Rampage, defeating them earlier this year in Bullhead. JD3 back to pass. He'll throw right up the middle of that defense. And who breaks it up? And almost intercepted. No one else but Mr. Kane Archer himself. I told you they were really putting him at the defensive position now. He's an athlete. He's not only a quarterback, but an absolute athlete. And he almost came away with an interception and sealed the game. And he's playing the free safety now, so anywhere where he sees that threat, they're giving him the ability and the clearance to roam and rove wherever he wants. You'll see him sitting on top of the strength, and what I mean by the strength, if you see trips to that side, he'll be sitting on top of those trips. And JD3 back to pass, he's gonna throw towards those trips. And this time it's intercepted. Wow. This time it's intercepted. They make the quarterback pay as he looks towards the strength this time, which was the trips receivers. And the Outlaws come away with the biggest play of their season, interception, as the Rampage knew they had to tie it up as they ran a wheel route over there, and they threw to the wheel, and they weren't fooled. Interception, and the Outlaws make a huge play with only under 30 seconds left in this game. Interception by Champ Davis, representing for Kansas City. And that'll run the clock out. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. The Outlaws are going to the Youth National Championship, 12 and under against Kansas City Raptors. City Life, it is going down. That is going to be another epic matchup Saturday. Tune in to Generation Next as the Youth National Championships are going down. Thank you for joining us at Generation Next. When we come back, it's 14 and under semifinals. The Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes taking on the OC Buckeyes. Big action. And guess who just made it in the house? Kane Archer father was late all day. He caught a taxi, couldn't hear, and he made it just to throw in his Ric Flair O at the end of the game to see his son carry his team to another big win. And they make it back to the championship game as they made it last year against the Welcome All Panthers. So this time they go back to the championship in 2020 right here in IMG Stadium. And the Outlaws are ecstatic on the sidelines. Congratulations to the Outlaws. Keep your channel locked. When we come back, it's Hurricanes, Buckeyes on Generation X Youth Sports Network.